right here. We're talking on the set. We got a water heater busted at HTV, and hey, it just happens. That's the time we in right now. You just got to roll with the punches. Joining me now is the parish president, Michel Claudet, who's on the set right now, and I think you're bringing some pertinent news to us.
We just finished another weather call. They're indicating that gale force winds will hit the lower parts of the parish approximately 18 hours from now. That'll be about 35-mile-an-hour winds. The largest storm surge is supposed to be hitting the Mississippi coast, which will be that port. We're still expecting anything around 2 to 4 feet, which will not cause any problems for people within levee areas. The reports just received show all roads are still passable, but we are going to call for a voluntary evacuation tomorrow morning on the low-lying areas, predominantly outside the forced drainage areas and outside the levee systems. And we'll have a shelter open tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. That shelter will be at the the east side. It's on Boundary Road, and we call it the East Homer Gym. And that'll be open at 8 o'clock in the morning for anybody who needs to take precautions. And please understand the first 72 hours are on you, so you should bring bedding, food, and water, any medical supplies, whatever. It's basically a place of refuge is what it is on that piece.
Okay, so obviously things are changing a little bit as we looked at the maps that Jason had up since we've been on the air. It looks like the circulation, not well defined, but it looks like it's going to go up through St. Mary, so puts us right on the eastern side of it.
Right, but right now there's some encouraging things I wanted to mention. The GIWW, just to let you know, and I know you live right off on the GIW, it's going up approximately 6 inches today. So we're still far below any problems to worry about. And down in Bayou Terrebonne, at the Bayou Terrebonne floodgate, actually it dropped about 6 inches just recently, and I believe that was because the tides went out. Right now it's only right around 2.5 feet, which is not a high area. Like I indicated, we're showing that all roads are passable in the lower portions of the parish, and right now it's predominantly a rain event. I wanted to indicate a couple of things to you that we had talked a little while about what levels the pumps can handle. They're showing maybe 17 inches through Wednesday. And if it's spaced out and it doesn't all come at the same time, Martin, our system should be able to handle that. We have temporary pumps. Our OEP will be open tomorrow morning, and we'll be activating it tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And Public Works will be staffed answering phone calls throughout the weekend through normal hours. After that, you can call either OEP or the answering service, and they'll get back to us if they need to.
One of the callers earlier brought up the fact, and it is a good question, any areas of pumps that, when you turn them on, have less of a circulation inventory or reservoir that you'd be concerned about, that have a smaller reservoir? Any areas like that? Or do they all have enough reservoir to make it work?
Well, actually, if you've ever seen the Bayroy pump station or the Deweyville pump station, I mean, that is just one little bitty place.
Good point.
And I mean, it's like sucking up water through a straw. And so that's an area that's always cause for concern. That's why we're constructing a new pump station, and we should be going out for bid on that almost any moment now. I did want to just indicate that depending upon how it comes, there should not be, and if it's spaced out over the next 3 days, this should not cause a problem. But if it comes, all this rain within a short period of time, then that makes a big difference.
Yeah, all bets are off at that point. So we have, I know y'all in constant contact, police are out there. Talk
Correct.
About police activity a little bit for me.
Well, actually, we have extra police on the streets anyway because of some enforcement that we were doing through programs, and they're checking constantly for high water and checking to make certain that roads are passable. As of the present time, everything is passable and the pumps have been operating okay, but of course something can always change and we have to react constantly.
Charlotte Randolph just probably hit the nail on the head. She said this is a marriage between Hurricane Juan and Hurricane Cindy. Similarities of both, so I guess that's what we could expect, right?
I think you're probably correct. I just wished it would move a little quicker and come through here. The faster it goes, the happier we'll be.
All right, so what's the plans for you as a parish president tonight? What will you be doing? What will you be doing in the morning? And when's the next, I guess, meeting of all the mosques?
Well, we have a meeting at 6 p.m. tonight. We have the fire stations that are coming in. We have the Council on Aging. We have many of our council members have indicated that they'll be there tonight, and we will be briefing them tonight. And at that point in time, we're activating the OEP. I'm on call 24 hours a day and 365, to be perfectly honest. And what happens is we're going to kind of continue to play it by ear. We're activating the OEP completely starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. And Public Works will have people staffing the phones throughout the days tomorrow and through the duration of this event.
Well, I know I've asked you this question, but we have a bigger audience now building into this. Pump stations, all been checked, still everything okay on that end?
I checked with Perry Blanchard, who's in charge of all that, about 5 o'clock, and he indicated to me that he had no reports of any real problems at this time. And of course, that can change in just a heartbeat.
All right, so I want to reiterate too, the shelters, you said East Homer Gym, but you said the first 72 hours is on them, so they need to bring, what do they bring, what don't they bring?
Well, actually, they should bring some bedding, some water, and some food.
Okay.
And just please understand, and the reason is because anything after the first 72 will certainly be on us. And that's what has generally been the case throughout all these activities.
Okay, a lot of people call up, can they bring their pets? That's a big no-no, right? No pets in the shelter.
It's been no pets in the shelter. We don't have a pet shelter unless we activate more shelters, because then we have some arrangements for pets. But on this East Homer Gym, it's not a pet shelter.
And I haven't got a lot of calls yet, and I think a lot of people are hunkering down in their homes for this one, but you did open the shelter in case people need to make their way. So,
correct.
So that's a good thing.
Most people in the lower parts of the parish move in with relatives, and a lot of them have family all around.
Right.
And right now, Martin, we've elevated so many homes in the lower parts of the parish. If their vehicles are safe, then they should not have a problem staying where they're at.
You know, let's talk about it, Michel, because we had calls from Shrimpers Row, Montague, Boudreaux Canal. They keep bringing it back to other storms that they had a lot of water in. But it's not the same levee system, and it's not the same pump stations
Correct.
now.
The only thing that is a detriment is the fact we have less marsh than we used to, less coast. But right now, everything else has been upgraded, bettered, and I mean throughout the parish. And right now, usually on a storm like this, also a little bit different. It usually would be coming from the east a little bit more, and would be coming in that area. And right now, with all the work in the eastern part of the parish that the levee district's done, that would have certainly blocked any water getting into Lake Boudreaux. With the direction of the storm, it may be feeding it into Lake Boudreaux, but still the storm surge is not anticipated to be nearly as great as it could be. Now, they did indicate that it's going to be a strong tropical storm potentially, or it could be an extremely weak hurricane. But at this point in time, it's not a big system.
Any new thoughts on Island Road, Ile de Jean-Charles? It's about the same?
It's about the same, and of course, that's an area that should voluntarily evacuate. And Martin, if you live on Ile de Jean-Charles, if they don't understand right now what they need to do, that's it. But
they've been through enough of.
And I mean, I think you've been down there on Deuce and a Half's gone picking them up, haven't you?
Absolutely, many times, you know.
And so, but everybody should be cautious. It's the ones outside the levees in the lower portions of the parish that have reason for concern. And they should voluntarily evacuate, and we will have shelters open tomorrow at 8 a.m.
All right, once again, Michel Claudet, Parish President of Terrebonne Parish. We're going to take a break. When we come back, phone lines, we're going back to them, 879-1231. Try to ease your mind a little bit as we get ready for what's probably going to be a lot of rain. We'll be right back.